In the last video that I did on Pinterest management, I really talked about how to get clients and how to set up a sales page. So in this video, I want to go a little bit more in depth on the topic. Managing people's Pinterest accounts is the first reliable and currently the biggest income source in my business right now. So it's a good industry to get into if you are just starting out and you have Pinterest expertise. First, I want to talk about the logistics of being a Pinterest manager. Where do you even start? Now, I don't really want to talk too long about how to set up a sales page because, as I mentioned in my last video, I have already talked pretty in depth about that topic. But here are some other things that you need to know as well. Now, you are going to for sure need some sort of sales page to direct your potential clients to, which means you're going to need a website. It's best if you already have a blog that you're posting on to start, because this will come in handy when you are trying to gain trust with your potential clients. If you are already posting about your Pinterest strategies on your blog and you're already talking about how well Pinterest is doing for you, this will help you gain trust with your readers and turning them into potential clients. The best way to bring in clients is to have them sold before they even reach the sales page. That way, all you need to do on the sales page is give them the details. That is the easiest way to make a sale, is to lay the groundwork first before they even get to the sales page. But we'll get into customers a little bit later. On your website, you want to have your Work With Me page easily accessible and visible so that people even know you're selling your services in the first place. I have mine linked in the top tab of my website. Next on the sales page, you want to get people interested in your services. Tell them who you are, why you would be a good fit as a manager, and your experiences, and even tell them why they should even want to hire a Pinterest manager, because they may not know. I like to hit on the pain points of people who are considering Pinterest management. Like, I understand how long it takes to post on Pinterest, and I understand how frustrating it is when you aren't seeing growth on the platform. So hire me and I can do it for you. That's essentially what you're saying on a sales page. Next, you want to tell them the price. Now, I like to be as clear as possible in this section. Tell them exactly how much you're charging and exactly what they are going to get. Don't be evasive about your prices. If they have to contact you to find out what your prices are, chances are they're just simply not going to. Some people find it a bit sketchy if they have to contact you first before you get prices, because they're wondering what is so secretive about your prices. Are you going to charge one person a different price than you're going to charge another person? Why can't I know right up front? They may be wondering, are the prices just made up? And while yes, technically they are, at least in this case, the made up prices are the same for everyone. And the last thing you want on this page is some easy way to contact you. I have a contact form directly on my Work With Me page so that people don't even have to leave the page if they are interested in my services. You want to make this process as straightforward, clear, and easy as possible so that there is no barriers when you are trying to get a customer. If you confuse people or you make it hard for them, you're likely going to lose that customer. Now let's talk about how to get clients. This is the tricky part and will likely take up most of your time. Before you can get customers, you have to get people to trust you first. They have to know that you know what you are doing if they are going to hire you. And the best way I have found to do this is by posting Pinterest content on the internet. One of the biggest traffic drivers to my services is YouTube. Pinterest is pretty much all I talk about over here. I show people my results and I help them with their own accounts for free. So once you do that, a small portion of people might say, hey, instead of just learning from her and doing my own account, why don't I just have her do it for me? Otherwise, it's gonna be really hard to start getting clients. Also, make sure you post about your services often. The other place that I get Pinterest clients is from Twitter. I let people know when I am signing on clients, and because they already know that I'm posting Pinterest content and they trust me, they hire me just straight from Twitter. Don't be afraid to mention your services where and when you can. No one can hire you if they don't know that they can. But once you have someone interested in your services, now what? I usually take a few days to email back and forth with them so I can get their expectations and understand what they need from me. And then I go over my prices with them and let them know what I offer and tell them how I normally run things. Usually after that, they have some questions about what I will do and what I will not do, and they ask about my process and my previous experience. In order to make this as easy and clear as possible, I always send over a Google Docs contract to them with all of the information that I need from them. Because every time I sign on a client, I know exactly what information I need from them, what questions I need to ask, and what passwords I'm going to need from them. So I send over a contract that lays out the prices and all of the questions that I need answered from them. That way, I don't have to go through a very long email thread to find all the answers. It is just in one concise place and we're both on the same page. I actually made this Google Doc as a downloadable template if this is something you guys want to start out with. So you can go ahead and grab that down below in the description if you want it. The next question you might be wondering is, how do you get access to their Pinterest account? Now, sadly with Pinterest, there is no way to add someone on as a user. You just simply have to log in as them, which isn't ideal, but there really is no other way to do it. As for other accounts, I like to also have access to their Google Analytics, so that way I can see how well their blog is doing and what posts I should be promoting each week. Luckily for Google Analytics though, they can just add you on as a user, so you can log in as yourself and then from your account you can get access to whatever they've given you access to from their own Google Analytics. This just makes it a little bit safer so you don't have to log in with their username and password. Now we can answer what is probably the most important question on everyone's mind. How much can you make as a Pinterest manager? And the answer is really as much as you want. There really is no price limit on how much you can charge as a Pinterest manager. However, I would start off small with your first clients. I would not be charging $400 a month right out of the gate. In the future though, it is totally viable to charge $400 a month for your services. I've gotten some quotes from other managers and just different research that I've done from other Pinterest managers, and there are some people charging that and more. However, they didn't start out that way. They got a few clients and they worked their prices up once they got a bigger portfolio of clients and proof that they could do this. So if there is no real guide, how much do you start out charging? For me, I looked around at what other people were charging. Then I went and looked at their Pinterest accounts and got a good gauge of their skills versus my skills. It honestly really all is a guessing game here. But the biggest question that I had for me is, what would I pay for Pinterest management services? You know your skill level better than anyone. So just ask yourself, knowing your skill level, what would you be willing to pay to have yourself manage your Pinterest account, essentially? And don't lowball yourself here either. Make sure to charge what you're worth. Then once you've done the research, you can set up different packages or price points to give people options. When I first started out, I had a set price for 2 pins a day, 3 pins a day, and 5 pins a day. Each package obviously got more expensive the more you want it done. But after managing a few clients and talking to a few other Pinterest managers, I decided to change my pricing structure. Now I offer management for the account, which includes keyword research, adding new boards, and just general management for the account for $120. Then for each pin, I charge 85 cents each. That way people can decide how much or how little they want pinned based off of their own budget, and they can really tailor it to their own account. Now with this, I still get mostly clients who want 3 to 5 pins a day as before, but with these new packages, I was able to raise my pricing, which is always good. Now you might be wondering, will raising my prices make me lose customers? I know the big fear in this business is we're always worried if we're charging too much. And the truth is, we're likely not charging enough. If you have all of your prices laid out and clear like I suggest that you do, customers can decide whether or not they like that price point. And if they don't like it, they just won't contact you. But people will contact you, I promise. In fact, when I raised my prices, I got more clients contacting me, not less. You're actually hurting yourself more than you realize by lowballing your prices, because people will pay more for quality. And if you have your prices way too low, people are gonna wonder, why are your prices so low? Does that mean the quality is bad? Next, I wanna talk about what are the downsides of being a Pinterest manager, because this business is not all fun and games. The main thing here is how much time it really takes. Because now you're not only managing your own account and your own business and everything else that you have going on, you're also taking on other people's work as well. And that takes up a lot of time, especially with Pinterest, which also means you can only scale this income source so much. If you are doing something like selling digital products or doing affiliate marketing, that is more passive income, so you can scale that because you're not actively trading your time for money. But with Pinterest management, you are. It's kind of like a 9-to-5 job. You get paid for the work that you do. So you only get paid so much in that month. And there's only so much time in a day, so you can only have so many clients. So basically there's like an income ceiling on this, where the only way that you can raise your income is if you raise your prices. And you can only raise your prices so much. Either way though, Pinterest management is fun and you can make a lot of money doing it. If you want to learn more about Pinterest management, check out the first video that I did on this topic. Bye!